On First at 4, a local nonprofit finishes building a new home for a flood survivor. Plus, an Eastern Kentucky recreation center is working to replace thousands of dollars worth of equipment after the historic flood.
Plus, calm weather continues in the mountains for now. The latest on when rain and even snow could move in coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, today is the first day you can file your taxes. And experts say a number of people may not be too happy when they get their refund. Jim Stratman talked with a tax expert about why refunds may be lower this year.
Tax experts say that you should go ahead and start thinking about your taxes right now. Today is the first day to file, and filing sooner rather than later could save you in the long term.
Start organizing their tax information right now. Take out their tax return from last year and use that as a guide to what to assemble for this year.
Dana Overall is a CPA in Richmond. He says that getting the groundwork done now can help relieve some stress towards the filing deadline, especially if you end up having questions. And this year, there could be a number of people asking the same question. What happened to my refund?
People should absolutely expect smaller refunds this year, and it's going to hit mostly the American families.
Overall says there weren't many changes to tax code this year, but the amount of deductions you can apply for significantly got cut.
What was considered the enhanced child tax credit has been reduced. Last year, that credit was for children under 6. It was $3,600 per child under 6. This tax season, it reversed back to $2,000 per child.
Account for pandemic stimulus credits not being on this year's returns and the reduction in the child care tax credits. And Overall says that if you're a family, you're going to be hit the hardest.
It's going to be a 1-2-3 punch to a lot of American families. They've kind of got used to a pretty substantial refund for a lot of people. This year, that's going to be substantially lower.
Overall says that you should really keep on top of your taxes well before that filing day comes here. In fact, if you think that there's any chance you might run into a problem close to that deadline, file for an extension now. That doesn't mean that you still can't file your taxes well before that deadline day. Just adds that little bit extra insurance. Reporting in Richmond, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
Overall pointed out one other benefit to filing sooner, you'll get your refund sooner. He says if you wait till the last minute, then that could mean your refund will take longer to hit your bank account.
Well, we're all quiet for the moment out there as we continue to watch our warning wintry weather. We'll push on out of the region. As we look outside right now, it is still chilly, though, along the Mountain Parkway. It's Slade 34, the current reading out at Slade right now along the Mountain Parkway. It's all quiet traffic-wise, but you see the overcast still with us from our Buffalo Mountain camera here in Perry County. 34, the reading there. And it remains chilly region-wide. A little bit of sunshine trying to break out in the Cumberland Valley. That's why we see those temperatures in the lower 40s there in Somerset, Monticello, even Jacksboro. Everybody else in the low to mid-30s at this hour. You see those breaks of sun along and west of Interstate 75 right now, but for the most part, we will continue to see perhaps a few stray sleet showers or some flurries out there this evening, but the main bulk of the action well off to the east. So going zone by zone tonight, we're in the 20s again. It's looking rather chilly if we can keep the clearing skies working in. Same thing in the Kentucky River Valley, closer to the mid-20s. And as we head into the Big Sandy, once again in the low to mid-20s for tonight. Now, I'll have the details on when we could see a return to some potentially wintry weather. That's in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. In the months following the flood that impacted much of the region, the Housing Development Alliance has been working to build homes for flood survivors, recently completing the first home within this project. Flood survivor Sherry Mullins of Breathitt County will soon be moving into that new home in Perry County. Mullins says after experiencing so much loss and devastation, the excitement of receiving the new home is finally setting in.
At first, it was like, now, could this really be happening? And the more they called or emailed or whatever, I thought, you know, I guess it really is going to happen. So I guess now it's starting to be excitement. But at first, I just really didn't know what to think.
Those with HDA say the house should be ready for Mullins to move in this spring. HDA will be building 11 more homes for flood survivors throughout Perry, Breathitt, and Knott counties this year. The Letcher County Recreation Center opened its doors again to the public earlier this month, but things are not really back to normal. Almost a foot of water rushed into the building on July 28th, covering everything on the first floor. Director Jeremiah Johnston says they are working to replace thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Everything on the first floor, so the basketball courts, the bowling alley, all the tile on the first floor, you know, and not to mention all the supplies we had in the offices behind us, you know, all the consumable stuff. Everything that got flooded on the first floor had to be taken out.
Johnston says the second floor, where people can lift weights and run, is open. We'll have more on the rec center's recovery process at 6. A second person is dead following a restaurant sign falling on top of a car on Thursday in Elizabethtown. Lloyd Curtis, the husband of Lillian Curtis, died in the hospital this morning. That's according to the Curtis's granddaughter. Lillian and Lloyd were 2 of the 3 people inside the vehicle at the Denny's at North Mulberry Street in E-Town. Police said wind appeared to be a factor in the incident. Lillian Curtis was initially taken to University Hospital, where she later died. Elizabethtown Police, as well as the city's planning department, are investigating.
A new push to ban trans fats worldwide. I'm Ian Lee with why the World Health Organization says it could save millions of lives.
Plus, we're keeping it sunny for one more day around the region. The latest on when showers move in coming up after this.